Sometimes an ordinary day can turn into a conversation you never expected to have. What started as a normal day of drying clothes, helping my family with palm fruits, and doing some house chores somehow turned into a very serious conversation about young people dying, strange things happening in our community, and even having to warn my younger brother, Junior, to be very careful about the people around him. And honestly, by the end of the day, I was so exhausted. So come and spend the day with me. Good morning, guys, and welcome back to another day in my life. My name is Sikari, and this is Life with Sikari. If this is the first time of seeing me, you are very welcome. I do all things lifestyle on this channel. So this morning, I came outside to dry the clothes I had washed the previous day. The rain had really been dealing with us lately, because once the rain starts, you can't leave your clothes outside, and because the rain has been coming and going, I had to keep packing my clothes inside whenever the weather changes. So these clothes had already been washed, but they were still not properly dried. I basically had to wait for the rain to give the little break before bringing them outside again. Called Junior to come and help with something else, which was palm fruits. And that was how palm fruit work started. If you're an Igbo or you live in Igbo land, you probably know what I am talking about when I say aku. This is the palm fruit that is eventually processed to make palm oil, or what many of us call red oil. So Junior came with his cutlass and started cutting the palm fruits. And I started filming him from the beginning until he finished, because I wanted you guys to see how the whole thing was done. And as he was cutting them, the palm fruits were flying left, right, and center. Everywhere. Some were landing here, some were landing there, and before long, we had palm fruits scattered everywhere around the compound. So once he finished, I started picking them up, and Junior also joined me. And together we gathered everything and put them into the wheelbarrow. He had already used a shovel to gather some of the palm fruits he had cut, so we could easily move everything to where Momsy was seated or sitting. And honestly, this is one thing I enjoyed about being around my family. There is also always one chores leading to another. You think you're just coming outside to dry clothes, and before you knew it, you were packing palm fruits just like that. After we took everything to Momsy, I decided to show you guys the entire apple. You saw how it was now. There was some in the basin, some in the wheelbarrow, and then some around the whole compound. So after that, Junior and Momsy sat down for a while and started talking, and this is where the conversation became very serious. They were talking about a young man who had reportedly been poisoned. He was a friend of my younger brother, Kachi. And according to what we had heard, nobody really knew who had poisoned him. And unfortunately, he died. What made the conversation even more disturbing was the fact that this wasn't the first time we were hearing about young people dying in a very similar way. We had already had stories like this before, and these were not old people. We are talking about young people here. People who are supposed to have their own lives ahead of them. So naturally, we started wondering what exactly is happening. Why are so many young people dying? Why are some young people getting involved in drugs? Why are some behaving differently? And also, why are we hearing so many disturbing stories about people who are still so young? And because Junior was there, the conversation eventually turned into an advice for him. Because Junior had told us about a particular boy who seemed to always be competing with him. If Junior buys something, this boy wants to buy that same thing too. Same color, same everything. If Junior said he was going somewhere, the boy will also say he is going there. So it was becoming disturbing. Basically, Junior felt like this person was constantly trying to compete with him. And because of all the stories we have been hearing, Momsy and I were telling him that he needed to be careful and mindful of the people around him. Not because we knew that this particular person would do anything to him, but because sometimes you really don't know what is going on in the mind of another person. Junior told us that he had already started distancing himself from this particular guy, and honestly, I think this is always the better way to do it. You don't have to fight with somebody. Sometimes just create your distance and protect your peace. After the conversation, I felt, like continuing with them, but I went back to my own work. I had another load of clothes to wash. This time, I had my sweater, my bedsheet, and some other clothes that I didn't wash the previous day. I actually soaked them overnight because my bedsheet had been irritating my skin. I don't know what it is, but whenever my bedsheet is dirty, my skin starts itching me so bad. So I really wanted to wash it properly and get all the dirt out. And here I am again carrying one very big of clothes, a bowl of clothes actually. At this point, I think the laundry alone had already become a full-time job. Don't you think so? While I was washing, Momsy and I continued talking about everything we had been. Sorry about the noise earlier. My brother was testing his generator that has been having issue for some time now. So like I was saying, while I was washing, Momsy and I continued about about everything that have been happening, the discussion we're having earlier. And honestly, this is how conversation happen in families. And before you know it, you start with one topic, then another topic comes up, and then another one, and before you know it, you've discussed half of the village just like that. It really makes you think, because these people who should be planning their future, building their lives and enjoying their youth, instead we are hearing stories of young people dying, getting into drugs, going missing, behaving strangely, and just going through things that are difficult to understand. But this particular conversation was eventually quite deep. Please pardon the noise at the background. Everywhere around me is so noisy. That's how you know I'm in the village. So we kept talking about the young people who have been dying and eventually around us. And it makes you wonder what is really happening around us. At some point, I even brought up, this sweater, because I had this sweater I gave to Momsy since, and she's not been using the sweater, you understand. So I had to take it back because I didn't come to Nigeria with any sweater, so I had to take my sweater back from her. So when I finished, I actually just went into my room because I knew that I had to actually clean this room. I've not cleaned this room for like some time now. I've just do my laundry and just do every other necessary thing in the house and just move. But on getting here after eating, after eating, you know how you usually feel. After eating, I was so heavy for myself. So I and Momsy still sat down. We continued our gist, but I told myself I really needed to do this, because if I don't do this today, I don't know when I'm going to do it. And you guys know that I've been down for some time now. I've not been myself. I've been sick. So that's why I've not really been. If you even check, you notice that I've not been posting regularly the way I used to post. So I was done mopping my room. It's time for me to go have my bath. So this is my bucket. I don't know how to put it. These are the places I put my sponge and everything. Seriously, I've forgotten what this is called, but I think it's called a what? So guys, I have worked today.
When I mean I have walked, my spirit, my soul, and my body knows that I have walked and I am tired. I just finished having my bath now, and I am so exhausted that, oh my god, you saw the way I was eating that food, Abby. It was not easy. Even after that one, I still went to do some things that I did not even record. I still had to sweep the whole, inside house and pack them, do some dishes, and then finally I went to have my bath. I just wore my clothes and came out. But I still need to go and help Momsy in one way or the other to do few things. But this is where I've come to the end of my video for today. Please do well to like and subscribe. I really appreciate you for doing that, and thank you so much for always stopping by and watching my videos. God bless you. I love you all.